Hello, Scrappy Names fans. How are we all? Well, this evening for me here. Been a little bit between videos yet again. Had a really good schedule happening, and I'm not really sure what happened. Life gets in the way. So I have this 12 by 12 layout that you can see lovely there of my beautiful little miss who turns 4 on Monday. God help me. So here's just the process video for that. So there you go. There's the photo. I am trying to use up some of my papers from my March Kitaholic kits. I didn't remember which months I was up to. So as you can see here, I'm just cutting some strips. This is all from the Cocoa Vanilla Wild at Heart collection still. So if you've been following along with my videos, you've probably seen them used a bit. The yellow cardstock is just some that I had in my stash that you can see used as a background. I'm not really sure why I picked yellow. It just jumped out at me, to be honest. I have a paper pad of all these really vibrant sort of colours like that, and I just went with it. I think because it's a bit of an outdoorsy theme, or not theme, but photo. This photo is taken over on the veranda at my auntie's house, where my little miss there goes to daycare. And yeah, I think that just all sort of tied in together. It was a really bright sort of colour. Yeah, I don't know, it just jumped at me. Anyway, so what you can see here is I've cut some strips of the odd bits and pieces of the pattern paper that I had there. So just fiddling around basically with placement of this. So obviously that gap in that floral piece, the lighter sort of floral piece, I wanted to cover up. Originally I wasn't going to, but because it was quite thin, I actually sort of just decided it was probably best to cover it over. And as I said, as you can see here, just playing with some of these darker colours. I didn't exactly have a plan in place, but yeah, as you can see, it comes together really well for me. So just fiddling around. Now with those two pieces there, you can see like the darker floral pieces. What I try and do is line up those edges a little bit so they sort of flow, if that sort of makes any technical sense there. Yeah, for me it just looked a bit more sort of aligned better and whatnot. And as you can see, I do fiddle around as to where it's going to go. But yeah. And you can see there that I've got my photo aside. I'm backing it onto some of this vellum. Again, I'm just using up the piece that's covered up. I punched some hearts out for another layout previously. And I'm just, yeah, covering those over, using those pieces. It's kind of, I guess, it's, you know, using scraps that aren't scraps, I guess. Just your odds and ends that I had of these pieces. I wanted to use them up and not have them just sort of sit by the wayside because I really liked this collection. I really loved this kit for March. So, yeah. So I decided that this was what I was going to do. Isn't it funny how you don't really have a thought process, but you just roll with it. It just sort of comes along. That's sort of what this layout is. It sort of just happened for me and ended up being really good. I think from memory this video actually was like really long, and I remember when I started editing it and I'm thinking, oh my god, it was like good 50 minutes long. I was like, wow. And I didn't even realise it sat there. Like that was a whole sort of scrap session sitting, and that's, you know, I don't always get that sort of long period of times. It's a bit here and there, but yeah, I still, yeah, did it. So as you can see, I cut that vellum to back the photo onto. And again, you can see that there's an odd sort of square type piece out to the left hand side of the photo, and I've kept that there. Again, I just wanted to use the pieces well, wisely, productively, whatever. Yeah, so just fiddling around with placement for that. There was some elements to this I wasn't 100% at first sold on, but yeah, they've come together really well. So now I'm just, as you can see, I made a decision. I have to make a decision. I'm not very good at decision making. I think it's my star sign. I am a Gemini, and we're not very good at making decisions. I've apparently never been able to make decisions in my life, so whoops. So yeah, I commit to it by, you know, a bit of double-sided tape, and away we go. I do think looking at it, you know, when you put on the yellow, as I said, it just sort of worked. I don't know, maybe because yellow is a bit of a, you know, sunshiny kind of happy feel to it, and that's sort of to me what this collection was all about. You know, Wild at Heart, there was lots of floral pictures and, you know, that outdoorsy kind of look. So just, and this piece was a little bit tricky sticking down because it had that thin little join. I didn't want to break it, so I was making sure it sat right, because I thought I'm going to end up fighting with this to get it joined back together. So yeah, just popping those down, and that's that. There we go. Now I do have a change of heart here with my backing of my photo, as you will see. I do grab another piece out. So I fuss around a little bit there with back and forth and whatnot. So as you can see, I've got this odd shaped cutout piece from this blue pattern paper here. So I make this work. As I said, I was determined that this layout was going to use the offcuts, I guess, if that's what you want to call them, offcuts, odd pieces, whatever, of the pattern paper I had, because I don't want to waste it. You want to have little bits and pieces lying around everywhere. So the purple piece you can see there is just a bit of foam, and I'm going to sit and pop it up on that. There we go. And it doesn't sit flush, the piece does actually not, it sort of comes across the photo a little bit, so it's not perfect. There we go. Just cutting that down, and I have sped this up, as I said. I'm not sure if I made some parts quicker than others, simply because it just, other sections of the video, just so because you don't necessarily need to see me doing different things that are fairly self-explanatory, I guess. So just using some of the, I think it's Helmer's glue. Is that right? I've been using it for a bit. Still not sure, as I said, I think in one of my other previous videos, if I'm 100% sold on it. Yeah, it seems to take a little bit longer to dry, and I'm a bit impatient, and I like things to be able to stick and stay in place without me having to hold it there for minutes on end. But, you know, it worked here. That's all that matters. Now, oh yeah, so I do go around, and I think I saved the hassle. I do trim it up, that blue pattern paper up a little bit. Go from there. So that's a nice little acetate piece that came in one of the previous kits towards the end of last year, I think. Was it January? No, maybe December. It's just a Heidi swap, and it says acetate piece, and it just says smart. So that's going to form part of my title. My little miss is 3, as I said, she'll be 4 on Monday, and while this is biased or not, she's actually very clever for her age. So yeah, she's quite smart and lovely when she's not challenging me. Lovely toddler age. So I just pulled a bit of a little tag piece that says "You are lovely," that you can see popped sitting on the left hand side there of the photo. That come in the ephemera pack from March's kit, and it's the same. It's the Wild at Heart one. So just, yeah, popping my pieces down and about. I've got some butterflies there, and I'm going to fussy cut some of the butterflies out from that pattern paper you just saw there. So I've cut a few out, and there was some in the exclusive cut apart sheets that we get. So there's 2 of those from the kit, and then 2 from the ephemera pack. No, sorry, pattern paper that I fussy cut. Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on. So I decided that I would make this a bit pretty, and hadn't done any embossing for a little while, so I thought, why not? And I got this stamp. So this stamp came in a gelato pack that I brought from Spotlight a few months ago. And I must admit, when I got it, I was like, why the hell would you have a stamp in there? Anyway, so long story short, saw something the other day on a video or something, and I was like, that's how you use it. So you can rub the gelatos over those and make it basically a stamp. So I didn't know that. So I'm going to try that at some point on the layout. So yeah, just heat embossing that. They turned out, as you can see, they turned out really, really well. And this time, again, if you've seen any of my previous videos, I learnt to do it on a piece of paper to pour the excess. Yep, see, I'm really happy, very proud of myself. To pour the excess powder back in to the bottle, so I'm not wasting any, which, yeah, it's so much better than having it all over your desk for the next week. So I do that again, and I decide to use I have only 2 embossing powders at the moment. I haven't branched out yet. I haven't decided if I actually like this, you know, I'm a fan of the technique or not. But I do use the blue as well, just to tie in. Both of those colours obviously are quite dominant on this page, so they just sort of made it all flow in together. The colours sort of work together. So again, yep, just zap that with my heat gun, and it turned out really, really well. Now I was going to use a butterfly off this clear stamp sheet, but I changed my mind just because I've got a couple of butterflies going on the page anyway, so I didn't want to sort of mix and match. So what I've done is I used that leaf sort of viney print you can see, and I was thinking about embossing these as well, but in the end I didn't. I actually really loved how they turned out using this. Now I don't know, I didn't try it with the Stays On ink, but I believe that this VersaFine ink is really good at picking up the small fine details in a stamp. And hence I ended up using it for this, and plus it was handy because I just done it for the embossing. Oops. Yeah, but I really, really liked how this looked. I got it given to me a little while back when I brought some stuff off of a lady here in Canberra. But it is a Kaiser Craft one, so it's quite a sort of bigger pack. If that helps anyone that might like it as well, go for it. Now what am I doing? Oh, yep, okay, so yep, bit of twine there through the little tag, as you can see. Just pop that in. Just cutting it down, and then away we go. Just pop that in. Oh yeah, so this was bugging me too, this side piece. It wasn't actually sitting, the foam, I didn't have the original foam that I put on there sitting quite all the way across that little extra sort of piece on the side there. So I ended up having to cut a small strip and popping it in underneath just to give that edge, because it was sort of flapping down, and to me it just looked unfinished. Now the heat did, you saw me just bend the paper, the cardstock, the heat from the heat gun I think made it sort of warp a little bit. Something to keep in mind, I guess, but nothing major, nothing too bad at all, but just, yeah, sort of made it warp a little bit out of place. So how's everyone going? It is the 1st of April. It is the evening of the 1st of April here in Australia, and I'm very excited. I start on my first design team role for use your stuff blog. So you'll see me popping a note out over there, and we have links to them and things like that. So I'm very excited to start that. And yeah, so a new month, Easter on the way. I have a very busy month for me here. We've got my little one's birthday, she's having like 3 birthdays, because she's got, yeah, her actual birthday, school birthday, then her party. So good times, which is a Paw Patrol birthday party. So lots of fun. I'm sure you'll see many a layout come up with all of that shortly. So yes, getting all sorted for that. And you know, there's Easter and my partner's birthday and school holidays, and yeah, so it's a busy month coming up. So going to try and get in and plan ahead some videos again. This one will go up tonight, and then, or probably early hours of Sunday morning now. Yeah, and then I'm going to sit tonight and edit some more and do what I can tomorrow, and yeah, go from there. I think I've got another Project Life one, and I think I have another mixed media one, I think. But yeah, and then all the new April challenges for each of the different, you know, blogs and things start too, so it's all fun. Do you enter much into the challenges? I heard that was a really good way of getting your name out there and, you know, adding it to your crafty resume. I've started doing it just in March. I might have done some in the tail end of February when I discovered this nifty little trick. And then, yeah, entered a few in March. And, yeah, we'll continue through entering them in. Okay, anyway, so sticking down the title here, I've stuck down the tag you can see, and there's a little arrow piece underneath the photo that just says cute. And I'm using that ampersand from the ephemera pack, the Wild at Heart ephemera pack, to add that there. And then just the goldy coloured stickers we got in the March kit as well for Kitaholics. So it's just, my title is just Smart and Lovely. Oh, and I stuck down my butterflies, I think, while I was yabbering away there. Oh, I have to be clever with the stickers here. So I'm sure I've done this before, and everyone else probably has too. The whole, you've run out of a common letter, so you have to sort of hack into another one to make said letter. So for that one was an L. I can't remember maybe it was an F I used. I don't know. But anyway, so yes, and I think the Y I had to cut, I made an X into a Y, I think, there. I'm fussing around there on my desk, making sure it's all nice and lovely. I'm not sure why I felt the need to bend the wings up on the butterflies, but I did. They're going into a book, and they're flat. I'm looking at the layout now, and it's been in her book now for probably a week. And yeah, oh well, anyway, all good. What am I popping down there? So I just add some finishing touches to this layout. It's nearly done. So just this little heart that came in the ephemera pack as well. It's got some really beautiful watercolour-y kind of effect on it. So I'm just sticking that down with some foam to prop it up on, give it a bit of dimension. And then what? I'm sticking those woodwinds there. Oh no, so I'm using these Kaiser Craft rhinestones to just add a bit of glitter to the page, well, not glitter, but bling to the page. I add them to some of the butterflies and then just scattered across the page randomly, a few randomly, nothing too much. I didn't want to sort of, it didn't need too much, especially with the bright background. And I do pop down some of the pale pinky coloured sequins we got in the kit as well. So just using the good old fine tip Tombow glue to pop them in. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, and I say it with all my videos, but it's always really nice to see a thumbs up, or if you've got a comment or something to ask or something to add or whatever, even if you just want to say you like the layout, yeah, please, yeah, give me that thumbs up. It's kind of motivating at times too, actually, to sort of see that. But yeah, so this layout's nearly finished. I do pop some journaling. I just draw some lines at the bottom of the page you'll see here, and I just pop in the journaling, and it just says, at Kimmy's school, and you have done an awesome colouring of a fish. You are so clever. And I just popped 2017 underneath because it was earlier in the year, exactly when I can't remember, but yeah. So you'll see I cut this out a bit, and you'll come to some close-ups now, I think, shortly. Alright, here they are. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you really like this layout, and remember, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've got anything to ask or add, let me know. I will see you again shortly, guys, and yeah, have fun. Bye.